Kia ora and hello. My name is Clayton Kimpton and I'm New Zealand's Commissioner General to Expo. And it's my real pleasure to be here today to talk about New Zealand's participation at Expo 2020 Dubai. New Zealand, it's very important that New Zealand participates in this Expo. This is an opportunity for New Zealand to be amongst 192 countries, sharing our ideas, talking about what New Zealand's unique propositions are, but also learning about what other countries have to offer as well. In a situation where there's been a pandemic, the opportunity to be together and to collaborate and to talk is even greater, given this is the first time since the pandemic that the whole world has been able to meet together. So this has been an excellent opportunity for New Zealand to talk about who New Zealanders are, what New Zealand has to offer the world. The theme of New Zealand's participation at Expo is based on a Māori ethos, and the Māori are the indigenous people of New Zealand. And that ethos is known as kaitiakitanga, or care for people and place for future generations. That's a very, very important ethos in New Zealand and is adopted by New Zealanders from across the country, from across sectors, from across backgrounds. It's really important that we look not only at nature, not only at the environment, but also at how people interact with nature and that integration that there needs to be between people and nature. If we look after nature, nature looks after us. The way we decided to tell our story of care for people and place was making reference to a very special river in New Zealand known as the Whanganui, or Te Awa Tupua in Māori. In 2017, that river was recognised as a part of the community and given the rights of a legal person. Now this didn't happen overnight. For 180 years, the Māori people of Whanganui and the government of New Zealand had been arguing about how the river should be cared for. And in 2017, this legislation was passed. One of the ethos in Whanganui is that the river is our essence. When it is healed, we are healed. And so that's what the innovation of this legislation, the first of its kind in the world, brought about, a recognition of Indigenous values to help resolve or solve a modern day problem. And now that as that river is healed, all of the communities and farms and cities that live along that river benefit from the river being healed. If anyone wants to draw from the river or put into the river, they have to ask the trustees of the river. No one owns it, the river is part of the community. And so when people visit the New Zealand Pavilion, the first thing they see is the story of Te Awa Tupua, the Whanganui River. And it's done in a way that is emotive, that is awe-inspiring, as you see water falling from 10 metres either side of you as you walk into the river room, but also tells the story of innovation, of Indigenous values and of the future, of how we care for people and place. So one of the reasons that we participated at Expo 2020 Dubai was because of the strong relationship that we already have with the UAE. The UAE is New Zealand's 10th largest market. And over the past 10 years, we've seen steady growth year on year in the trading relationship between the two countries, which is already at almost $2.5 billion a year. So it's a really important part of the relationship. It's also a really important part of why we're here at Expo. One of our key things that we're wanting to tell the world is what we have to offer in terms of trade and investment, education and tourism, and what our unique propositions are. So our participation at Expo wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, and we call them our Care Collective. And we've called them the Care Collective related to our theme for care for people and place, but also because we've been very careful to make sure that those sponsors reflect those values. And one of our sponsors is Comvita, a honey company which has a strong market presence across the world and also here in the UAE. And we're very grateful we're very grateful that Comvita is part of our Care Collective, and they've been a really strong participant in what we're doing here at Expo in terms of seminars and promotions, and they're certainly present throughout our menu in the restaurant Te Aki that is at the New Zealand Pavilion. And so people come in here and they get to enjoy Comvita honey in a range of our different products, and they're also able to buy Comvita honey, Manuka honey from the store as well.
This new product really showcases Comvita's principles around healing and protecting the world through the magic and the power of the beehive. This new luxury product is a multisensory Manuka honey experience. It's made in collaboration with two New Zealand artists, ceramicist Gideon Bing and New Zealand composer Peter Hobbs. The product incorporates technology and luxury goods to create a multisensory immersion into the natural world of Comvita. The product will retail for $6,900 US and will be available to purchase only in the UAE. It's limited to just 50 pieces, so it's incredibly exclusive. The product was created to celebrate Makino Forest's first honey harvest. We planted 1 million Manuka honey trees at Makino, and it took 3 years for those trees to grow and produce the nectar that is used to create Manuka honey. This is a really exciting time for Comvita. We're not only here to celebrate our market entry into the UAE, but also there's some synergies around UAE's Golden Jubilee, as well as Comvita's 50-year anniversary.